Well, it's Nashville Day. Headed out though. I'm trying not to wake up the kids. We're going to be leaving in just a few minutes. Head on the road to Nashville. Yay! The journey has begun.
I'm very excited to introduce to you Bj Pons.
We welcome to the music set Bj Pons.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
One of my very favorite singers. Miss Bj Pons is with us today. I didn't know you wanted me to.
When you go through different things in life, God uses sometimes songs and sometimes something someone says, whatever, to really grab your attention.
Bj Pons was a member of the praise team at Jimmy Swaggart's church for over 24 years.
I told the Lord that I would only use this talent for Him, and I have always done that.
Go. Oh yeah, because we know it's so difficult to carry the bags. Well, I have to say, I did squeeze as much as I could into that so I didn't have to bring a big bag.
What are all these shoes?
Every woman has to have enough shoes.
Oh my goodness.
You gotta have shoes.
How many shoes can you wear?
You gotta, did I snort? I just snorted. Because shoes are important. I'm excited, I can't wait, we're going to Nashville. Let's go.
I hope we can make it to the gas station.
Got yourself into another one. I don't know how you did it.
Oh,
Not surprised.
it's definitely a God thing. For sure.
That's for sure.
It's amazing. We'll see how this project turns out. I'm excited. Can't wait to see what happens. And God's got it.
I'm sure it'll be good.
I'm Bj Pons. I was born Barbara Jo Trent. Yes, everyone has wondered what does BJ stand for. So now you know. The secret's out. Barbara Jo. I married David Pons back in 2015. I have 3 children. I have an older son. He's 28. And I have 2 daughters. They are 26 and 25. And I have 6 grandchildren. I know I'm too young to have grandchildren, right? I love being Momo. Yes, I am a Momo. I have been in ministry pretty much my entire life. When I was little, we sang in church. My dad traveled, and so we would sing. At a young age, I told the Lord that I would only use this talent for Him, and I have always done that. I believe He gave it to me, so I believe it should be used for Him. So we're on our way to Nashville. I'm so excited to do my next project. I was talking with a friend of mine. His name is Paul Secord. He was telling me that he was a part of a new studio out there in Nashville. And so he really got me excited and anxious to do this project with him at this studio. So I'm excited to see what God's going to do with it and how the music's going to turn out. It's a little different from what I'm used to. I've always used the same studio every time I've ever done a project. So it's going to be a little different. It's going to take a lot of trust to let somebody else handle it, somebody different. But I believe God's going to do something special with this project. Ask Paul to help him in his venture of the studio. And so
Wait, say that part again.
Scott Godsey, who was vice president at Daywin, he stepped down
Daywin
from
is a
large Christian label, like the Christian label.
He stepped down from that.
Yeah, it's like the Christian label right now. It's a media business, so it's the studio, photography,
When did that
videography, right at the end of 2019.
So it's
going
still new
into-
because Corona held it up for a
It
year.
was
So
going into
you're
Corona
one of
when
their
it was
first
starting.
real projects somewhere in the beginning.
Somewhere in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else?
I started singing for Jimmy Swaggart when I was 21 years old. I was 21. I was just a young little thing. And I sang for him off and on until 2012. I left for 8.5 years to go into full-time ministry.
I am a full-time minister, and I used to sing with Brother Swaggart for 24-ish years.
Wow.
Kind of in and out, raising kids and singing and doing ministry and that type of thing. But I was his soloist, background vocalist, praise and worship leader, a little bit of everything there. And about 2 years ago, I felt like God was calling me out into full-time ministry to sing and to share my testimony. And so I took that gigantic leap of faith out there. You know how you have that branch that's about that big and there's like nothing on the other side? That was me walking that branch.
Amen.
And so, but I took that big leap of faith and stepped out, and I've been traveling all over the place and singing and sharing my testimony and watching lives be changed. It's just been incredible.
I had the desire to really get one-on-one with people, and the Lord opened up some marvelous doors for me during that time, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
Well, welcome back to Babby's house. I'm happy to introduce to you Bj Pons, and she has a beautiful CD called Showcase Your Grace. She has a wonderful testimony, many years of singing with Jimmy Swaggart on the praise team there at his church in Louisiana, and she's a great songwriter and with a powerful story. Help me to welcome here to Babby's house, Bj Pons. Bj, my friend, I'm happy to meet you today.
Thank
God
you.
bless you.
So excited to be here.
Absolutely, and thank you so very much for sharing your beautiful music. I love your CD. It's beautiful, beautiful music. What is it that you want people to get from your music?
I want them to get that Jesus Christ loves them and that your pain does not define who you are, that Jesus Christ defines who you are. His word says who you are.
Then I recently came back to Jimmy Swaggart Ministries, and I have been back since February 2021. And I'm so excited. I love it. I have always enjoyed singing there at Brother Swaggart's.
I had no strength to climb, and the struggles on this journey left me weak, both in body and in mind. Where I stand to the peak is a distance on my own I cannot reach.
It's so fulfilling to know that you're able to minister to such a large amount of people at one time.
So you brought up Carolyn. Give me a little history on Carolyn. Carolyn who?
Carolyn Cross. She writes songs, but she's mainly in the orchestration. Like, she's phenomenal when it comes to arranging music. And so she's done some scoring for movies and things like that. She was nominated for a Grammy last year. So she had written on one of my songs that was on my last album, which was Showcase Your Grace. No. on Showcase Your Grace. So anyway, she heard about me going and doing that album, and had listened to the song, listened to the music and all that kind of thing, and wanted to get to know me. So she had invited me to come and meet her at her house. Well, I didn't know her from Adam. So I was like, I can't just go show up at some stranger's house. I can't do that. So we ended up talking on the phone, and off and on for about a year. And then right before COVID hit, I felt like the Lord told me to go ahead and call Carolyn and say yes. And I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this, but I did. So we're there, and I'm getting to know her. Well, at the same time, my brother Tico, who lives in Nashville, he says, you've always loved Billy Gaines. Why don't you come and meet us for breakfast, and you'll get a chance to meet him in person? I was like, what? So I was like all excited that I was going to meet Billy Gaines. Well, we met up for breakfast. I got a chance to meet him. Super nice, down-to-earth guy. We talked about music, we sang, we around the piano. My brother Tico and his wife came over, and we just had the best evening. It was just beautiful.
I have my sweet husband, David, traveling with me to Nashville. I asked him to come with me. I like having someone there that is outside and can look in and see what's going on and see both parties, see what the studio engineer's doing, what I'm doing, and be that mediator. He doesn't always like to go with me on the road. He said, I've done that, been there. He used to travel with bands for many years. But every now and then, I can get him to go with me. On the next episode of Hope is Rising.
Almost at the studio. Day one. So excited. Can't wait to see what we're going to do.
This is the first time I've ever done a project in Nashville. They're fairly new, even though the folks that work for them are not new to the industry. We do have some of the top Nashville players playing on this project. It's really a challenge for me to be in the studio. I have to be in a different mindset, and I have to, I'm very aware of every wrong note and every weird sound that comes out of my mouth. When I met Paul, I loved his heart. I loved his desire. It's a lot of work. I'm exhausted. It's like going on 10 o'clock. My voice is just wore out. When people hear this music, I want them to hear God speaking to them.
From that up until that point, I'd gone through molestation as a kid and rape as a teenager, and then I got married, and I'm in this abusive relationship, and I was in that for 15 years.
My main desire for ministry is to minister to women who have been through abusive situations, because I have dealt with that. We wrapped up this session, and we were all set to go. Then an alert popped up on my phone.
10 o'clock, National Hurricane Center pushing out its first advisories on Tropical Depression 9. This tropical depression gaining strength here.
Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana all issuing states of emergency ahead of the potential Category 4 storm.
I can praise my way through it, or I can mope my way through it. And I choose to praise.